What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, great afternoon, great evening, great morning whenever you're checking out this video. Just wanted to drop a quick one, talking about the identity of this offense. Before I get rolling, I say it all the time, but we have to do it. We're salespeople, and we're trying to promote and obviously grow the Cowboys cave. So if you're new, and I see a lot of new people and definitely appreciate it. But if you are new and checking it out, make sure you take the next step. Hit that subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. All it does is put you part of the Cowboys Cave family, and hit that thumbs up, hit that like, show support on the video, comment, because I love getting your guys' thoughts. I love responding. I love interacting. And that's why our live shows are great. And if you hit that alert bell, you'll always know when we go live or when we drop a video. And the chat is really where you see it all. And we get a ton of people watching on Twitter, but we love to get more of you guys over to YouTube. That way you can be part of the chat, be part of the conversation, because like I said, this channel, as you can see behind me, it's about being a fan and the love of the Dallas Cowboys. Not Jerry Jones, the love of the organization, the love of the star, the love of the history of the game. And if you guys are new, you'll see a ton of interviews that we did with a lot of legends of the Dallas Cowboys. And we've got some more coming up because this is the dog days of summer. There's really not a ton going on. So I love to reach out to some former Cowboys and just kind of share some stories, get their thoughts on the current team, but also talk about their career, their years, what they're doing now. Do they still follow the Cowboys? Are they pissed off at the Cowboys? I know that kind of stuff. So, definitely, you guys definitely check it out. But hitting that subscribe and the alert bell is a quick way to make sure you never miss any of it. And you can go back to our playlist and see all the interviews. You're talking Bob Lilly, my man Kevin Gogan, Big Nasty, great interview. Eugene the Hit Machine Lockhart, Tony Thrill Hill, Daryl Moose Johnston, Doug Cosby. I mean, we get every era covered, and a lot of Super Bowl champions, some Hall of Famers, some Ring of Honor, and NFL all-time greats, and also get some from the opposing team, because we like to see how did people really hate the Cowboys? Did guys who played against us, who played for the Steelers or the Redskins or the Eagles or the Giants, how bad did they hate the Cowboys? So always love getting those guys in here too. So going to be doing that over the next couple months, but wanted to talk about the running game, and really more in particular, the identity that this team is now establishing. And if you listen to Coach Schottenheimer, and I dropped a video on my thoughts on him, I think he's off to a great start. And the more I hear from him and the more I hear, the more I like it. But then you look at the offensive coordinator, even though Schotty's calling plays, you got Clayton Adams, offensive mind, run the football, offensive line minded, run the football, smash mouth. You got Connor Riley, a great offensive line coach coming from college, getting his opportunity in the NFL. And then you look at what the Cowboys did with their running game, with their offensive line. Look how that offensive line played near the end of the year, that last half. They got better and better and better. And then what do they go do? They go get Booker. Now, I got to be fair. I wanted a playmaker. I wanted a receiver at 12. But when I understand the identity that this team wants to create and that they are creating, I can understand it. You go get a nasty guard. So now you've built the trenches of your offensive line just to be dominant for a decade and to just break the will of the opposing team. Then you go out, you got Javonte Williams, who you picked up from Denver, who's still young, had some injuries that has kind of hiccuped and hasn't made him been able to feel, get that full potential that he had at North Carolina. The dude was a bad man at North Carolina, and he's still very young. You get Miles Sanders, the veteran, who's still under 30. He had really good years in Philadelphia. He signed a free agent contract with the Panthers. Didn't really work out. Bad football team. I think he got in a doghouse there. So you've got him. And then you go in this draft and you get Jaden Blue, the running back from Texas. And then you get Maffa, the running back from Clemson, who I'm really familiar with because I watch a lot of ACC football, being a Hurricane. Seen Clemson, and I've seen Maffa do some damage to our team. So he is a physical running back. Blue, his running back coach, Tashard Choice from the Cowboys, high praise. And if you watch him, he can hit. He's a home run hitter. Anytime he touches a ball, he could take it to the house. Great hands. And you look at Maffa. He's good out of the backfield too. You even look at Williams. Williams caught some, pretty good out of the backfield as well. Miles Sanders. All these running backs are versatile, but they have their own style. Now, I think there's going to be an odd man out. And if I were to guess, of the four, it might be Miles Sanders. I think youth will prevail. But maybe they keep four and they just clean house with every running back that they have on the roster now between, Hunter Lipke, between Deuce Vaughn. They just, they released Malik Davis. So they kind of cleaned up that. So that's where I'm seeing possibly the Cowboys shift. Now, their argument is, well, they don't really have an RB1. And no, you're probably right. I mean, they probably don't have what we would call a true RB1, 30 carry, 25 carry, a Saquon Barkley, a Derrick Henry. But most teams don't have that. Most teams, it's running back by committee. But what each one has, if I could take a phrase from a man from Taken, is they all have a special skill set. And I think, Jaden Blue is going to be your scat back. He's going to be your lightning. He's going to be the guy that is just going to take, the Maffa and Williams are going to beat that defense down. And then Blue's going to take it to the house. He's going to be that change of pace. He's going to be that 10 carry, 4 catch guy, whatever, 4 or 5 catches out of the backfield, kind of running back. You're going to get Javonte Williams. You're going to get Maffa. They're going to be the ones that they're gonna beat down because our offensive line is built to run the football. So they're going to beat down and wear down that defensive front. So it's going to be early. You might get one. Then you might get a closer. One of the two might end up being the closer in the bunch. So you're going to see a running back by committee, which I think is fine. I mean, that's the way of the NFL, the days of Emmitt Smith and the days of that. It's very, very few. I mean, Barkley and like I said, Henry are very few. So I think that's what you're going to get with this running back tandem, a 3-headed monster, as I like to say. And I've heard people say, well, these guys, they didn't put up huge numbers in college. They're not. What do we expect from them? Blue was not an RB1. I mean, but he was averaging over 6.4 yards a touch between catching. Look what he did in the playoffs. The big touchdown runs and run after catch that he had there. And then you look at Maffa, he's a bruiser. But they had a lightning there too. So he wasn't that 35 carry guy, 30 carry guy in college, which I don't want because these are fresh legs. These are fresh legs out of college. It's fine they did running back by committee. If you look at the Miami Hurricanes and the success they had with their running backs, they've always been running back by committee. Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis, Frank Gore. I mean, they were all in the same backfield. They were first, second, and third string. So you always have that. So that's where I think is a positive for the Cowboys in the running game. They got some young, fresh legs. You even look at Williams. He's 24, 25 years old, but he doesn't have a lot of tread on his tire. He's just got to stay healthy. And he wasn't on. I mean, the Broncos, until last year, weren't a great football team. So did he really get a chance to showcase his skill set? He had a nice rookie year. But again, the injuries kind of took a toll on him. So that's what I'm seeing with this running game. It's the identity of this offense. And when you have an identity, that's the thing I talked about in the last, year with the Cowboys. Really, you could even say the last 2 years. What was their identity? Think back to Zeke's early years. Identity, run the football. Think about DeMarco Murray, run the football, set up the pass with the run, get that play action pass going. That's where Dak Prescott's at his best. Get that defense to creep up a little bit, force them to commit to stop the run, and then you hit them with big plays. So that's what I'm seeing with the mentality and what their vision is. Now, of course, they got to execute it. Vision is great, but no execution don't really mean a whole hell of a lot. But I like what I've seen in the coaching staff. I like what I've seen in the draft for them. building towards that identity on offense. What I'd like to see left over is get a veteran receiver opposite CeeDee Lamb as an in case emergency, because I just don't know what Mingo. I don't know Tolbert. I think Tolbert's a good 3. I don't really know he's a 2. You need to have someone that's going to take some pressure off of CeeDee Lamb, because when we go and open it up, that's going to make it even stronger. And then if you do, that's going to make it even harder. These teams aren't going to know what to do. They're going to commit to stop that running game that's being thrown down their throat, shoved down their throat, and wearing down that defensive line, or they got to back off to protect the pass. So I think running game is the critical part to the Cowboys' success. Also, we talked about the defense. Unsure how dominant this defense is going to be. I think the ends, I think we're there. I think linebacker, got to get some health. I think we're going to be fine. Secondary is a question mark just because of injuries. Defensive tackle is a question mark because of what we have and the unknowns of draft picks that we have. We didn't really upgrade anyone there. And we've got to be able to stop the run. Well, one of the best ways to stop the run, if you can't stop the run, is to run the football and eat up that clock a little bit and play with a lead. Get the teams playing on their heels. So that's going to be the important thing. But I'm happy that the identity of this team is being established and is being back to what is successful for the Dallas Cowboys historically, is running the football. So let me know what you think. Do we have the right guys? I hear Nick Chubb. If Nick Chubb is there, do you want him, or do you want to go with the young guys? Nick Chubb's coming off, some injuries, hasn't played in a couple years of meaningful football. Is he worth the risk? Because then your running backs getting heavy. Now you got to start making moves and getting rid of some people too, because you can't have 6 running backs or 5 running backs on the roster. So what would you guys do? And do you think the Cowboys' identity is being established with the run? And does that make you happy, or does it give you pause and concern? Let me know your comments. Hit that subscribe, like, share on your way out. I appreciate it, Cowboys Nation. I'll be seeing you. Have a great weekend, great week.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.